I want y'all to sit back and watch this debate here, where they are, where I'm not sure exactly, but this is a daily occurrence of debate that happens on all subject matters. And this particular one is of African sister who is talking to an Arab guy who is from Algeria, stating the case that Africa were actually inhabited by us black people. I'll be back.
You're telling me no country has suffered colonization like your country?
No, that's not what I said. We don't have a monopoly. We don't have a monopoly. We don't have a monopoly on that. That's
Morocco,
not what I said.
Egypt,
that's not what I said.
Ireland, across the water, half an hour.
Yeah, no, Ireland
suffered as well.
That's not what I'm saying. That wasn't what I'm saying. We're not talking about other people though.
Why not just Sudan? You want to talk about just Sudan?
No, because we're talking about Africa. So why we bring up Ireland? Why we bring up Ireland?
Because you're talking about colonization.
No, I was talking about in the context of Africa. We don't. If we could talk about everyone, we could talk about Japan if we wanted to.
So
they
let's
were
talk in the
colonized
context
too.
of Africa.
But that's not what we're doing. So I assumed that that's what we are at. So I don't know why you're going to other
streams. You didn't provide me any evidence.
You didn't provide me evidence. A picture isn't evidence. I asked you before. I asked you exactly. No, listen. I asked you 20 minutes ago for citation. You never gave me a single citation. Okay, give me the name of the professor, the work, and the year.
No,
so then I know what
I'm
you're
not
talking
proving
about.
I'm African. I'm trying to show her that regardless.
That's Wikipedia. That's not a citation. Wikipedia is not an academic source. She could write. Wikipedia is not an academic source. So you're gonna have to find me somewhere else.
Regardless of how much Sudan suffered.
I'm not talking about Sudan.
Okay, so then what's the aim of this conversation?
That's why I went on to Libya. I was saying that's how you can tell the difference. It's because the people that come as colonists, like when the Arabs and the French came, as colonists.
So Gaddafi's a dictator, yeah? He's not a colonizer, but he colonized his own. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And Gaddafi's heritage isn't from Africa.
It's not.
His heritage is from
where?
It's
from Italy.
I don't know. Where does the name Gaddafi come from?
Gaddafi's Libyan. It's a Libyan name. It's a Libyan family name. It's a Libyan family name. It's a tribe. Gaddafi basically is a tribe.
Arabs. I don't know why you...
We weren't colonized by Arabs, we were colonized by French, majority of us.
Gaddafi means to throw. It's an Arabic name, it means to throw.
It's Arabic name, Arabic is not...
But its tribe is called Al-Gaddafa from
African language. It doesn't have... Arabic does not have any foundation in any African language. It doesn't, at all. So that's how you know...
Arabic doesn't have any...
It doesn't have foundation within a native African language. It doesn't.
Which one, Berber?
Saha, so how is...
I don't know what Saha means.
So, thank you. So how is North African not African?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Arabic, yes or no?
So how is North Africa?
This okay, if I can come in here.
They're putting the history of North Africa in the entirety of Africa, which isn't the case.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I spoke about West.
There's a difference.
They don't want to look, the beauty of this discussion, I know, it's beautiful.
There's nothing beautiful about this discussion.
We're not fighting.
I've lost length in my afro.
You done good. You done good. You handle everybody. You handle, sister. You handle. Come, let's keep it here. You handle this whole crowd, and I was in awe. I was having a conversation back there, but one of my ears was tuned into what you were saying, and you were making a lot of very interesting points. Now, the problem, as I was saying, I think you were at the fringe of my conversation. My voice is gone because I had one before you came. And I was saying to this young brother here that the problem is in the absence of written records. People are reaching for a lot of speculation,
like
and on
Wikipedia.
top, which they generally no, that's written. I'm talking about in the pre-history. No,
what about coins?
I'm trying to.
What about ancient coins?
Have some respect.
Let him finish.
What I'm trying to explain here is simple. There are things that we will discover in the future that is going to overturn what we're discussing here. For now, we can only use this discussion as placeholders. This is what we know. Like when I was at university, we didn't have genetic anthropology. When that was invented or developed, we learned new things about Homo sapiens that we were not taught in the 1980s. So a lot of what we're discussing here, let us accept our limitations, that these are placeholders. What I will say about history is that if sources, ancient sources, written sources, archaeological sources support our point of view, we can assert it. If the sources are not there and we are using supposition, we have to admit that we are in the realm of supposition. When it comes to North Africa, we had this discussion. As an Afrocentrist, I am in the midst of people who assert that the entire continent of Africa, here the placeholder and forgive it, was Negroid. The entire continent was black until people came and invaded. That is the ultra Afrocentric, let me land, brother. That is the Afrocentrist ultimate position. Now, brother, hold on. Man. I like to build it up properly.
You're right.
So, I don't leave room for like what he said, because it's being filmed, and if I say the wrong thing, they're going to clip it.
Let him finish.
The haters going to clip it, right? What I need from North Africa are actual sources, skeletal findings to prove the people there, genetic findings, were Negroid. It's a placeholder, look at my fingers, or Africoid, or Sub-Saharan. But these words have limitations. Us Ethiopians are Sub-Saharan too, and are Somali. So that's why the word Sub-Saharan is insufficient for the description of the North African we're looking for. Negroid, perhaps. Let's hold it tentatively. I don't like the word. However, all I can go on is the term Mauritania. The Romans had 3 provinces in North Africa. Africa, Numidia, and the westernmost in Morocco, which corresponds to the Atlantic coast near Larache, was called Mauritania. Now, Mauritania, Maurus, has a lexical connection to the Greek Mauros, mauve, dark. It does not mean black. In Greek, black is melanos. But then humans were not necessarily called the colors that we see today. Let me come to the point. If you look at that area, I am led to suppose that that area, and this is late, the Roman period is late, that area, Mauritania, of the 3 Roman provinces, may have had darker skinned people. It could have been the last remaining outpost of the Negroid Orthochones. It could be. But the skeletal evidence so far does not hold that to be the case. But I can assume that North Africa, that bit at least, was darker skinned. Now, that is not conclusive. Linguistics is not conclusive evidence, because the Berber language is related. Now, Berber we know is a bad word too, but it's a placeholder. It's a placeholder. All right? It's related to ancient Egyptian. Now, we know that in the beginning, if you look at the Sphinx, the ancient Egyptians look like you. But come toward the end, Cleopatra kind of like her. So we know in 3,000 years, the Egyptians change color. We know the reason why. Hyksos, Assyrians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Arabs, and the French, and the Turks, Ottomans, and all the rest of it. The Egyptians, in 300 years of dynastic history, became progressively lighter. This could have happened to the Berber. So, my brother, it's being taped. It's going to sound like an interruption, right? So, what's happening here is perhaps in ancient history, it could be the Berbers were Negroid, jet black, and as time passed, they became progressively fairer in color, and they kept the language. So, the language is still a black language, Berber or Amazigh, related to ancient Egyptian, which is related to Somali, Cushitic languages, which is related to Hausa in northern Nigeria. They are all related languages. People like Professor Christopher Ehret call them the Afrasian language group. Now, that too may change. I'm just telling you the latest research. That's not conclusive. So, that's one argument for a black origin of Berbers. That's one argument. However, we don't have any historical record of the fair-skinned Berber being from anywhere else. When some of them say we are from Canaan, it's just like the Yoruba saying we come from Mecca. The Yoruba say they come from Mecca. A couple Yoruba could have come from Mecca, but because of the premium placed on the spiritual direction, Mecca and Jerusalem, a lot of modern Africans make those northeastern claims, those kind of out of Africa claims. So forget that. We are left with trying to understand, were the North Africans always white, see my fingers, or did they displace Negroid Orthochones? We have no record of that ever happening so far. Remember, I'm cautious with what I'm saying. Yes. So far, there is no record of North Africa being Negroid being Negroid, and they were being displaced by Berberic, Amazikic-looking people. Y'all keep it holy, everybody. And remember, our similarities are greater than our differences. Our similarities, remember this, we are all Africans. Our similarities are greater than our differences, and we have to make this continent work. Right? Even if it's never been done before, the time is now. We have got to work to pull this continent together. Otherwise, the Chinese gonna take it. The white man gonna come back and take it. Is that what y'all want? No. We don't want that. Chinese are there already. Inshallah, y'all keep it holy.
What do you think? Many of them have made their positions of arguments and their theories. And I'm here to say that in the beginning, scientifically proven, the black man in the continent of Africa was the first human brought on by the man, woman, and child. We migrated and were established to be the indigenous of all countries. Everything started with us. You can't say who was first when it was us first, moved out by wars, by religions. So the older gentleman can say, there is no proof. There is proof. We were the first. All came from out of us. So wherever we inhabited, before even our color may have changed according to science, we were first, then moved out.